This is what happens when tensions boil over, when anger takes over.
Ferguson was a spark that certainly outraged a greater part of America.
But what deserves a closer look is what's underneath.
You know, we are basically still in the civil rights struggle.
A culmination of frustration over issues that many minority communities face, including those in Colorado.
We're at a really critical time for conversation.
So we began a conversation with community leaders and activists, asking what they think are the biggest issues in minority communities. It's a big question with no shortage of answers, beginning with education.
Tilt your head all the way back.
It's Sunday at the Michael Grant Salon. A time they're normally closed.
The way your hair looks influences the way that you feel.
As these curls drop,
But on this day,
you can just keep wearing it.
stylists are busy with special clients.
Gabby, what do you think?
It's not vanity, it's humanity.
Tanya Cheney is the salon owner, and she's partnered with the Kemp Center for the Roots of Change Hair-a-thon.
Put some stuff on her ends.
The Kemp Center works to prevent and treat child abuse and neglect.
This is her hair.
These young clients are all minority foster and adopted children.
I love to cook.
A good meal is just like life. Sweet, savory,
This is where it's at.
but also just like life.
Yeah,
Sometimes complicated.
we're good here.
For Wayne Thomas, head chef of his household,
Dinner time is absolutely important.
the best part of the meal is the company he gets to spend it with.
My family drives me.
Family helped change his life. In 1997, Wayne was a drug-dealing, gun-toting 17-year-old busted for beating another teen with a gun.
I was a violent person, yes.
Even though Wayne was 17, Arapahoe County prosecutors went after him as an adult for kidnapping and assault.
I knew it was bad, but I was like, I'm a kid. This will probably work out.
He was looking at 16 to 48 years in adult prison. Instead, after pleading guilty, he spent nearly 5 years in the youthful offender system.
I am ashamed of what I did, because it was just pure stupidity. It was pointless. It wasn't my problem. I made it my problem, and it changed my life forever.
But Wayne decided he could change his life again.
Where you start is not where you end.
While in lockup, he finished high school. After he got out of prison, he went to college, graduating with a doctorate degree in health sciences the day after getting off parole.
Having a second chance at life basically told me, you know what, you need to do something right if you want to live a decent life. And I wanted to fight and see if I can really overcome the odds.
But life with a felony conviction isn't easy. Wayne's often been turned down for jobs.
Society is not so forgiving all the time when you make mistakes, unless you're famous, which is pretty funny to me.
He's asking the state of Colorado for clemency, a pardon only a governor can give.
It's the last step into, getting back my identity.
Colorado has many stories of African Americans who have made significant contributions. One of those history makers is Emma Azalea Hackley. She was the first African American to graduate from the University of Denver. Hackley graduated in 1900 with a degree in music. She founded a music publishing company and toured the nation lecturing about her experience as an African American musician. With this History Makers Moment for 9 News, I'm Taronda Thomas.
When talking about Colorado politics, a man forever etched in its history is Regis Groff. But the longtime legislator is more than about the past. His legacy is about Black history for the future.
What am I?
Though she may not know it, Dominique McPhee may be exactly what they're looking for.
Figuring out what policies we should use it towards.
This is the debate team at Martin Luther King Jr. Early College in Denver.
3, 2, 1.
I love to argue. I'm really big with pushing my points and pushing what I really believe in.
There's good ideas and bad ideas and I can't do that.
Regis F. Groff liked to push for what he believed in all the way until the day he died in October 2014.
It's been rough. You miss him every day.
Tracy Groff Jones grew up with a man who loved his family, but he also loved public service.
So it was hard for me. And he was my daddy, and I just wanted him to be home.
Now, she wants Colorado's second ever African American state senator to be remembered. So she and her family created the Regis F. Groff Foundation.
The foundation is part healing process for us and part helping process for the community.
Just sending out thank you cards.
It is the personal touch
This is for Mr. David Randall
that everyone has come to expect from Sherry Hunter Miller.
I always can depend on her.
She does a beautiful job.
That is myself, okay, with a very curly head of hair.
Because beauty is her business.
Optimum conditioner, shampoo, sulfurate.
And she started in the business of selling beauty supplies when she was practically a baby.
My mom started me when I was 7. Seriously.
Her family, one of few African-American families in Denver to own a business in the 1960s.
That's my father and my mother.
Sherry's mother, Joanna, built the Hunter's Beauty Supply empire, not just accumulating clients, but building relationships.
This is not about just making money, okay? You gotta make a difference.
Which is why Sherry feels it's her duty to write every single loyal account holder.
I just thought I'd do a card.
To let them know she's going out of business.
Colorado has many stories of African Americans who have made significant contributions. One of those history makers is Edna Wilson Mosley. In 1991, she became the first African American elected to the Aurora City Council. She had a hand in creating the Anschutz Medical Campus and the Lowry community. Taking on causes like civil rights and gender equality, Wilson Mosley was also a founder of the Women's Bank. With this History Makers moment for 9 News, I'm Megan Fitzgerald.
During Black History Month, we share so many stories. Many of those stories come from deep within the archives of local libraries. But go through these shelves and you'll find not everyone's story is reflected in a book. 2 women here at the University of Denver wanted to change that. They have embarked on a research journey that has led them to a discovery about diversity and a student who roamed this campus more than 100 years ago.
Denver was pretty different and DU was pretty different back then.
Back then, in 1900, that's when she graduated from the University of Denver. No one then realized how significant her story would become.
I started looking at the historical record of the university and that there are all of these gaps.
Gaps in her story and in the story of many more DU alums, women of color.
It is important because it's absent. It's not there. And we believe that it needs to be there to give a more complete picture of this amazing institution.
So DU professor Dr. Nicole Joseph and special collections curator Kate Crow partnered for a research project. It aims to find African American women who graduated from the 150-year-old school and tell their stories.
Colorado has many stories of African Americans who have made significant contributions. One of those history makers is Lewis Price, a former slave who headed west. Price helped publish the Denver Star. It was the first black newspaper west of the Missouri River. He built his fortune in real estate. By 1890, he was one of the wealthiest men in Denver. Legend has it he would spend his Sundays riding in a grand coach through the streets of Capitol Hill. With this History Makers moment for 9 News, I'm Taronda Thomas. Memorial Day. It's become known as the unofficial start to summer, a time to host barbecues and begin summer vacations. And for kids, it means that summer break is right around the corner. It's a celebration, but there are some families who do not celebrate today. Families for whom Memorial Day is a true memorial for the men and women who sacrificed their lives for this country. My family is one of those families, not concerned with big barbecues today, because for us, today is my brother's day. Chief Warrant Officer 2, Terry Michael Thomas, Apache helicopter pilot, member of the cavalry, and all-around amazing guy. He was the kind of guy who got attention every time he walked into a room. Even at my wedding, no one looked at me. In his dress blues, everyone wanted to know who he was. He was so handsome, so kind, and so muscle-bound that he couldn't even put his elbows together over his massive chest. But never let it be said that he wasn't a softie, especially for his wife and his 2 children. Always looking to make our parents proud, the Army was a career and a passion for my brother. Accepted into Warrant Officer Training School on his first try and passing through with flying colors, he finally got to fly that Apache. My brother was decorated and preparing for his 2nd tour of duty in Iraq when he was killed in a helicopter crash in Germany. September 19th, 2006, the worst day. And every Memorial Day since, I have not looked forward to it as an extra day off from work. I go to work and I wear this, a Gold Star pin. Very rarely when I wear it does anyone know what it is, but it is given to families of fallen soldiers, given to me on the day that my brother was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery.
Colorado has many stories of African Americans who have made significant contributions. One of those history makers is Bruce Randolph, better known as Daddy Bruce. Famous for his barbecue, he became a legend because of his generosity. Randolph gave Thanksgiving meals to the needy up until his death in 1994. The food basket giveaway has become one of the biggest Thanksgiving traditions in Denver. With this History Makers moment for 9 News, I'm Megan Fitzgerald.
Men and women, young and old, black and white, rich and poor, people are different.
People have a natural desire to categorize. We're categorizing machines. That's how we make sense of the world.
We call it diversity, gender, skin color, language, culture. All these differences make the world an interesting place. But those same interesting differences can somehow become a bad thing.
The question of why does skin color cause so many problems? The answer is because humans make those categorizations and then use those categorizations to create categories of people who receive certain rights or are denied certain rights, who are at the top of the socioeconomic ladder or at the bottom.
And if you don't do something about it, we will have no alternative.
It has happened again and again throughout history. One of our most vivid and painful examples is nearly 250 years of American slavery that ended only after a civil war that almost destroyed the country. It did not end the difficulties created by our differences.
Of course, we don't have the buying and selling of people based on their skin color in the United States anymore. We don't have legally segregated schools, but racism has morphed, it's changed, and it's reappeared, as we can see in the events of the past few months.